Yo, what up, YouTube? It's Iron Rashad back with another video. Now, in the aftermath of the 2025 NBA Finals, which the Oklahoma City Thunder have beat the Indiana Pacers, there's this this energy in the air, trending through the airways and through social media that this year's finals was trash. It seems like a lot of people were disinterested. Now, me personally, I feel like if you're a basketball fan, if you're a sports fan, if you're a true, if you really love basketball and you actually watch the game, you're not a casual, you study the game, the past and all that. Just watching this year's finals, it was actually a pretty decent finals. The entire playoffs, for that matter, was great, actually. We had a bunch of great playoff series from the first round, second round, third round, all the way to the finals, bro. It's not, the reason why people are disinterested has nothing to do with the product, because, or the talent, I would say. It does have something to do with the product, but not the talent per se. The talent is there. I think the problem is the league has a huge marketing issue, right? We made it all the way to the NBA Finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder were the best team in the league. They won 68 games. They had a historic season, defensively and offensively. One of the best seasons in Thunder history. Barely any promotion about it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just had a historic season where he averaged 32 points a game. I believe 32, 6, and 6, shooting over 50% from the field. Very to little, you know what I'm saying? Very to little promotion of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. His personality, I'm going to say this, bro. The league is in a tough spot because a lot of their best players are lacking charisma. I would say the main thing about this year's finals, bro, is lacking charisma. See, I grew up, bro. I love basketball. Bro. I grew up in Chicago, right? I used to watch the Bulls growing up. Guess who my favorite player was as a kid? Derrick Rose. And Derrick Rose wasn't the biggest stat guy. Derrick Rose wasn't my favorite player because he was putting up the best stats in the league. No. Even his MVP year, a lot of people argue LeBron could have won, and they put LeBron's stats, they compare Derrick Rose stats to LeBron's, and LeBron's was better. But the thing that made a lot of diehard NBA fans, and the reason why I'm such a diehard NBA fan is not just numbers, the analytic BS, right? And this is a lot of why the league has been destroyed with the analytics and the 3s over 2s and all this and that. It wasn't about the stats. It wasn't about the numbers. It was about the aesthetics. It was about the charisma. I watched Derrick Rose play, and he may finish the game with just 15 points. But them 15 points, nigga, when I would come home from school and I would either watch a Bulls game, or if the Bulls game wasn't on TV, I would watch Derrick Rose's highlights. It'll be certain games he wouldn't even go that crazy, nigga. But every bucket he got, nigga, it looked different. It just looked different, nigga. The way he laid the ball up, the way he was just blowing by niggas. Just his demeanor, how he carried himself on the court, straight dog, bruh. That's why niggas like me fell in love with the game. The reason why Michael Jordan is the GOAT, when I was a kid, I seen Michael Jordan's highlight reel, bro. One of the craziest shits I ever seen, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was like watching all the other greats. When you see Kobe for the first time, AI for the first time. But I remember watching Jordan, nigga, for the first time. It was his career highlight reel. And I'm like, bruh, this nigga was different, bro. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about the number or the stats that he was putting up. I was like, damn, he was putting up crazy stats. But what made him so different was, nigga, his demeanor, his charisma. That's what the league is missing right now. That's what these finals was missing, bro. Charisma. Shout out to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. No charisma, bro. No charisma. And people saying the promotion. They did give these niggas commercials, bro. But, Shai's commercial, and I think Jalen Williams was in the commercial, bro. It's just the league has an entertainment problem, right? The league has a strong entertainment problem, right? they've made the league, you know, gimmicky, and you know, you got all these travels. Like shout out to my boy Ben Mathurin. You know what I'm saying? He should be starting low key, but I see why they don't start him, because Nembhard and Naismith are a better defender than Mathurin. But Mathurin is a bucket. Like he showed in Game 7, I think the nigga had 24 and 13 boards. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna have to start giving Mathurin more minutes, bro. Like if you look at his stat line, bro, like the majority of the games where they gave him a decent amount of minutes, he put up some buckets, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't have a bucket like Ben Mathurin just sitting on the bench, bro. But here's the thing, bro. Tyrese Halliburton. Terrible what happened. You know, hate to see it. Hey, man. You know, any athlete knows, like, when you play through an injury, bro, like, you know, you usually are putting more stress on other parts of your body. You know, a lot of times an athlete gets, like, hurt. And before he really got really injured, he was already, like, hurt. He was already playing through something, or she, any athlete. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, man, it's just terrible he tore his Achilles. But, and I hope for a speedy recovery. I'm sure with modern-day technology, he's going to be in good hands, you know. You know, him, Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard. You know, Damian Lillard a little older, so I think it's really going to be tough, and he's a small guard. So I don't really think Dame is going to be the same at this point, bro. Like, he's still going to be able to get buckets, but he's already a liability on defense. Now he's going to lose lateral mobility and shit like that, bro. Like, you know, that's why KD and the Suns were so sad, because KD can still go out there and get you buckets, but he not guarding nobody no more, nigga. Like, after that Achilles, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's still an average defender, nigga, because he's 7 feet tall and has a long-ass wingsman. You know what I'm saying? So he's still an average defender, but he's not someone who's really going to make a strong impact defensively. And, but who was I saying? Halliburton. Halliburton, bruh. You know, I was saying how Dame and them was going to come back. Yeah, but Dame, he ain't going to be the same, bro. But anyway, Halliburton, Jason Tatum, all of them, I think they're going to be in good hands with their injury. But Halliburton, good player, you know, good player. But the problem with the Pacers and why it was, first of all, nobody knew who the Pacers was until the first round when they won. Nobody knew who the Pacers was, bro. Nobody knew who the Pacers was. Nobody expected them to beat the Bucks. Nobody expected them to beat the Cavs. Nobody. Who else did they beat? Nobody expected them to beat the Celtics, I believe. Yeah. I think they played the Celtics too. No, every series they were in, they were the underdog. You know, they got terrible promotion during the season. The league has to do a better job promoting their teams and promoting their players. But like I said, they're in a marketing dilemma because the players that bring the most ratings, the most charisma, the OGs, because let's be real, bro. Let's address the elephant in the room. The OGs have more charisma than the new niggas, bro. You know, Ja Morant, cool, bro, but you got all the off-court shit. So it's hard to promote him. Try not to curse, my bad. Zion Williamson, injury prone, all the off-court stuff. Anthony Edwards, great player, dog on the court, but all the off-court stuff, baby mama drama, he messy. You know, like, the new generation, they got an image problem. You know, they're bringing down the value of the league. This is what happens when you give all these niggas all this money. You know, I think what the league needs to do, and I really mean this, bro, like, they should be paying attention to these finals and how the ratings aren't great. The finals have no aura, bro. The game is losing its grip. People are complaining and people calling Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a foul baiter. Bro, all the great scorers were a foul baiter. Jordan got to the line. Kobe got to the line. The only great scorers that don't really get the whistle like that is physically dominant players like Shaq, Wilt, LeBron. Like, them niggas, they not going to give you the whistle as much, nigga, because they attack the rim so much and they play so physical. They're going to be shooting 40 free throws a game. So they got to kind of bite they whistle with certain players. But finesse and skill players like Iverson, Kobe, nigga, you name it. Every great scorer that's a skill finesse player knew how to draw a foul, knew how to foul bait. James Harden, one of the best scorers of the 2010s. One of the best scorers in history. People called him a foul baiter. But that's what made him a great scorer. You look at all the great scorers, they got to the free throw line a lot, bro. You know, you can talk about how they got there, this, that, and the third. Hey man, does Shea foul bait? Yes, he does. But is that his whole game? No, Shea has a smooth game. Shea's problem is his game doesn't have a lot of charisma. You know, he plays the mid range. It kind of has more of a '90s Jordan kind of style, but he doesn't have Jordan's athleticism. His game isn't as charismatic as Jordan's game. He's putting up the same exact numbers as Jordan, but with less charisma. You know, so that's why I'm saying the NBA has a problem, because the talent is there. You got your MVP in the finals averaging 30, 35 and 5, I believe. You know, he shot poorly from the field, but still 35 and 5. I think he shot like 44% from the field and like 29% from the three. But the thing with Shea, he's a 91% free throw shooter. You know what I'm saying? He shot 91% from the free throw line in the finals, you know? So the talent is there. The stats is there. The storylines can be there, but the charisma is missing. You know, Shea won that championship, bro, and it already kind of felt kind of off because of what happened to Halliburton. Like, I really feel like if Halliburton was healthy, I'm not going to say the Pacers would have won, but they would have made it real scary. See, the problem with the Pacers is, the thing is, Halliburton isn't even the Pacers' best player, in my opinion. To me, the Pacers' best player is Pascal Siakam. You know, he's a better scorer than Halliburton. He's a better rebounder than Halliburton. Halliburton's a better passer, but Siakam's a better defender. So to me, Siakam's more impactful. When Halliburton first came to the Pacers, they weren't good yet. They didn't get good until Siakam came, right? And Halliburton ain't do shit in Sacramento, you know? So to me, Pascal Siakam is their best player, but Tyrese Halliburton is their most valuable player. That may not make sense, but hear me out. Halliburton makes everybody around him better. He runs the table. Pascal Siakam, he's more of just an individual talent. You know, he's not really going to get a bunch of assists. He's not really he makes his team better on defense. He's a great leader on defense. But as far as offensively, he doesn't galvanize the troops like Halliburton did. That's why the offense fell apart after Halliburton got hurt, because he is the engine to that offense. TJ McCollum, what he did was nice, nigga, but when McCollum is your number one option on offense, nigga, you in trouble. And McCollum, he a solid NBA player, nigga, but ain't no way on no NBA Finals floor TJ McCollum should be your number one option offensively. Like, no, big dog, like. And I think coaching too, bro, like I'm saying, bro, like Rick Carlisle, nigga, like when Halliburton tore his Achilles, bro, like, bro, niggas like Siakam, bro, like, I'm not going to say they shouldn't have came out the game, bro, but I vividly remember in the third quarter, Siakam was out the game for a cool minute, bro, and I'm like, nigga, it's game 7, nigga, ain't no tomorrow, nigga, like, what you resting him for game 8, nigga, like, what you doing, bro? Like, he had Siakam out for like 6, 7, Siakam ain't come back into the game till like midway through the third quarter, bro. You know, and when Siakam went out the game was close. You leave this nigga on the bench, the offense falls apart. TJ McCollum willed y'all back into the game. Nigga, now it's time for Siakam to, you know what I'm saying? And then he has Siakam on the bench, bro. Like, it's so much shit, bro. And then like I said, they offense just fell apart, bro. Like, after they let the Thunder get that momentum, because the Thunder were struggling, bro. Indiana did a great job. This was a great NBA Finals. Like, if you're a basketball fan, this was a great NBA Finals, bro. Indiana did a great job guarding OKC. Shea didn't play well in game 7. He shot like 8 for 27, bro. 2 for 12 from 3. You know, his saving grace was the free throw line. I think he was like 11 for 12. You know, finished with 29 points still, but he didn't shoot well. He didn't shoot well in game 6. He didn't shoot well for the series. The Pacers did a real good job guarding him. He still got his 30. That shows he's a dominant player. He can struggle shooting and still find a way to score, you know. That's what separates him from foul baiters like James Harden. See, James Harden, when the playoff comes around and they allow more physicality, this year's playoffs, a lot of physicality was allowed. You know, that's what I'm saying. This was a great year for the playoffs. And I feel like the league should you know, transition this into the regular season. You know, LeBron on the Mind the Game podcast was like, oh, I don't know if the fans want the game to be more physical. Yes, nigga, we want the game to be more physical, bro. Like, bro, another problem with the league, bro, it's too much offense, not enough defense, bro. You got to change the rules, bro. I'm telling you, Adam Silver, bro. If you want to save the league, if you want the NBA Finals to have aura again, let me tell you what brings aura. What do you do when you at the park and somebody rings off 5 straight buckets, bro? What did the OGs used to tell you if you played basketball and you was at the park and somebody's just is on a heater? hit their elbow, foul them. Why do you foul in basketball? You foul when the offense is too unstoppable, so all you can do is be physical with them. Now, when you're physical and the offensive player can still score, that creates a level of aura. It's like, damn, that's what I'm saying. Like, niggas like Derrick Rose, bro, like when he was score, bro, like damn near all, and this is why his career unfortunately was ended short, but damn near all Derrick Rose buckets were tough buckets. Like the charisma on his moves, bro, which is crazy. Like I'm telling you, from the crossover over to everything, bro. The players now, they don't got that charisma, bro. They out here traveling, they added this gather step. Niggas out here taking 4 or 5 steps on step backs and on layups. Like, bro, get rid of all the gimmicky BS, bro. Get back to fundamentally sound physical basketball, bro. That's what's going to save the league, bro. All this finesse, gimmicky offense, bro. Y'all done opened up the offense. Y'all done opened up the floor. Y'all done got rid of the big man, bro. Y'all got to bring some grit back into the game, bro. That's why park basketball is so lit, bro, because it's gritty. That's why the NBA in the 90s and in the early 2000s and the 80s was so entertaining because it was gritty. It was defense. Bring back hand checking, bro. These players are too good offensively to not allow defenders to hand check them, bro. Everybody complaining about, oh, Shai's fouling, Shai's this. Bro, LeBron James is an all-time great, bro. If you're going to allow LeBron James to commit offensive fouls on damn near all his drives, bro, because let's be real. When LeBron James drives to the rim, he's lowering his shoulder and he's bullying niggas to the rim, bro. If you're going to allow that, bro, you need to allow hand checking, bro. If you're going to allow offensive players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, damn near, bro. If y'all going to allow all these offensive players to play physical and push off, because a lot of players in the league now push off, it's a lot of physicality allowed offensively. You're allowed to push off with your arms. You're allowed to use your shoulders to navigate and get position. You're allowed to use your body to, you know what I'm saying, to navigate through the defense. Like, if you're going to allow offensive players to do that, and now offenses are scoring at all-time high clips, on all-time high efficiencies, you got to give the defense more of a balance, bro. The game is in balance right now, offensively and defensively. You got to bring back the grittiness. You got to give the defense, some things to work in their favor. Maybe get rid of the 3-second rule. Like, I don't know, bro. Make the game more intense, bro. Defensively, allow more physicality, bro. You should be able to hand check all that, bro. Like all that triple step back, double traveling stuff. Get rid of all of that, bro. We're tired of it, bro. We're tired of players being able to do quadruple step backs and all this, bro. Bring back the hand checking, bro. Because if you're able to hand check, players won't be able to be doing all this dribble stuff. Like it's a reason why a lot of the great scorers, bro, you would look at their game and players with a bag wouldn't average as much points usually as the best scorers. The best scorers, they bag was usually simple, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was get into a spot and scoring. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, everybody doing all this dribble shit, bro. Bring back the hand checking, bro. That gets rid of all that dribble. It's hard to dribble when somebody's on your hip, bro. What's the word? Impact in the direction you move offensively, bro. But I'm going to end the video off with this, bro. This year's finals, though it was a great finals for true sports fans, from an entertainment aspect, it was poor. It wasn't very entertaining. You don't have a lot of entertaining personalities. The league didn't do a great job promoting other players in the league. All they promoted was LeBron and Steph and KD, all the OGs. And like I said, the majority of the OGs have more charisma. You got Shai, no charisma. Nikola Jokic, no charisma. Giannis, no charisma. Jason Tatum, no charisma, corny. Donovan Mitchell, no charisma, corny. Like, a lot of your top players, bro, no charisma, or they're injury prone. They're not on the court. It's a lot of unlikable personalities. It's not enough alpha personalities, bro. I would say this finals had no alpha dominant personality, bro. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he has an alpha dominant game, but his personality is not, he don't got that Kobe, he don't got that Jordan, he don't got that Iverson. Like, it was no personality in this finals where it's like, I'm out to kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Tyrese Halliburton, bro, like, Yeah, he was cold-blooded and clutch, and he hit that game winner in game 1, but it's like, all right, he hit that game winner, but he only had 14 points. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, in clutch moments, he's cold-blooded. He's a killer, but like, he not really looked at as that dog. Like I said, in my opinion, he's not even the best player on the Pacers. You know, he's just their most valuable player because he makes the team better. You know, but as an individual talent, the best player is Pascal Siakam. You know, so that's the issue, bro. Jalen Williams, no charisma. Chet Holmgren, no charisma. The player probably had the most charisma on the Thunder is probably Alex Caruso off the bench, bro. He was their grittiest player. And even his personality ain't the greatest, but he got that gritty dog type game, you know? But the league, bro, and these NBA players, bro, we need more showmanship, bro. Like I said, Derrick Rose was my favorite player growing up, still my favorite player of all time. My GOAT is Jordan. My favorite player of all time is Derrick Rose because of the aesthetics of his game, the charisma of his game. I can't stress this enough, bro. The league has to get back to charisma. Bring the charisma back to the game. Bring the trash talking. Stop kicking niggas out the game. Stop giving niggas all these technicals for talking a little trash. Bring back the rivalries, bro. All these players all friendly and shit, bro. Like, where are the rivalries at? We want to get to the playoffs and feel that tension. When you got to the finals and you had Magic versus Bird, you knew Magic and Bird couldn't stand each other on the court. They may have been friends off the court or whatever, but on the court, bro, they couldn't stand each other, bro. And even off the court, they were beefing for a period. Like, you could feel the tension, bro. When LeBron went against the Warriors, bro, it was tension, bro. Because Steph was coming for the throne, bro. And LeBron had to defend his throne, nigga. So it was tension there. People were saying Steph is better than LeBron. It was tension there. You felt like that finals meant something. Bro, the Thunder just won their first finals in franchise history. In Thunder history, they won one, I think, with the Seattle Supersonics in the 70s, like 78 or 79 or some shit like that. But this is their first title as the Oklahoma City Thunder, bro, and it did not feel like it. You remember when LeBron won the championship in 2016, and it was like, the Cleveland Cavaliers have won their first championship in 52 years. Like, it was aura, bro. It was like, wow, these niggas just came back from 3-1. They just won the first championship in Cleveland history. Like, it was aura. When the Thunder won, it was no aura. It didn't even feel like they just won the first championship in Thunder history. Like, it didn't even feel like Shea just won his first championship. Like, you know? And Shea, like I said, Shea, no charisma. Shea's post-game speech, no charisma, bro. Compare that to LeBron when he won his championship, his first championship, and he was crying. Jordan won his first championship, and he was crying. You know, Jalen Williams started crying, but you ain't feel it like you felt it when Jordan was crying. And when LeBron was crying, bro. And when Kobe was crying, bro. You ain't feel that aura like when Jordan came back for the second three-peat and won the championship on Father's Day. It was in there bawling, crying, bro. Like, you felt that shit. You felt them tears, bro. I ain't feel them tears from Jalen Williams, bro. Them baby tears. It ain't hit, bro. It did not hit the same, bro. No aura. None. Bro, the league, bro. Y'all got a problem. Y'all need to start promoting your charismatic players, and you need to allow your charismatic players to let their cojones hang, bro. You got to stop giving them all these technicals for taunting fans. Bro, y'all got to make, bro, I'm saying, bro, I know you got to keep it like somewhat family friendly, but come on, bro. Let's be real, bro. What makes a NBA game so entertaining, bro? It's when there's beef, there's players fighting, there's animosity, there's rivalries, right? When you bring that grittiness to the game, it makes it more. It just makes it more cinematic, bro. This year's NBA Finals did not feel very cinematic at all, bro. You know, and I feel like if the league wants to change this, bro, y'all need to get away from the analytics, let the game be free. Let players that are extremely skilled at what they do be extremely skilled at what they do. If they're an extremely skilled post player, don't tell them to be on the three-point line, bro. Get your ass on the post. The majority of your touches, the majority of your possessions on the block. If you got an open three, take it. But you need to be dominating where you're most dominant, right? Oh, well, three's worth more than two. So even if someone takes 4 threes and makes 2 of them, that's 6 points. And if someone takes 4 shots and makes 2 of them, That's just 4 points. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing, bro? Like, just let players be, bro. Bring back the physicality, because what the physicality forces players to do, you can't just sit around shooting threes when someone is being physical. You got to really be able to shake your defender, bro. Players nowadays, you don't even really got to know how to really shake your defender. You can get by people easily, bro, just off of gravity, because they got to respect the three for the majority of players. So it's easy for niggas to get by each other. When you got somebody pressing up against you and hand checking you, bro, you got to really, like, shake them to get by them, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if y'all going to allow niggas to use arm balls, if you're going to allow players to use their arms and their shoulders and push off, you got to be able to allow the defense to be physical as well, bro. You know? So I think the league, from a talent perspective, is in great hands. The league is very talented. Those were two very skilled teams that just met in the finals. Anybody that says those teams were trash, you're just a casual. But what I will say is neither one of those teams had a lot of charisma. I will give you that. They had a lot of San Antonio Spurs with them, you know. But the thing is, the league needs that balance, bro. Like, when the Spurs went to the finals, bro, they still did decent ratings other than when they played the Pistons, because the Pistons was a small-town team. But when they played LeBron, the ratings were out the roof, bro. Some of the greatest ratings of all time was that Game 6, 2013, you know? But why was it so great? The Spurs had a boring but team-like play style, but then you had them going against LeBron. So you got one team bringing all the charisma. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to have at least one team with charisma, bro. You can't have an NBA Finals where both teams have no charisma. You can't have it, bro. You know, if the Thunder gonna be in the finals, bro, who in the East got charisma? Man, even Giannis, bro. Even though Giannis doesn't have a lot of charisma, he still got that dog in him, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he can somewhat bring ratings, and he got Dame on the team. But like I said, Dame is hurting, and, you know, probably ain't gonna be the same after that injury, bro. You know, but that's what the league needs to focus on, bro. Y'all need to focus on promoting players and just allowing the game to be more gritty, you know, less friendly, more physical, you know, bring back the rivalries, allow players to talk trash, don't suspend players for the season if they get into a little fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bring that grittiness back to the game, bro. And that will literally save the game. Get away from all the gimmicks. Get rid of all the traveling, bro, all the gimmicks. Take all the gimmicks out the game. Bring the physicality back. Get away from all the analytics. Allow players to bring back the creativity, bro. The game is becoming way too robotic, bro, because y'all making it analytical. Allow players to be creative, bro. What made Magic so great? It wasn't just because he got an assist. It was how he got the assist. He throwing no looks, and you know what I'm saying? Jordan, like I said, it wasn't about just how he scored 30. Like I said, Shea averaged 30 and Jordan averaged 30. But you watch Jordan's 30 and you watch Shea's 30, Jordan's 30 is going to be more entertaining. You watch Kobe's 30 and you watch Shea's 30, Kobe's 30 is going to be more entertaining. Like, we need that grittiness and that entertainment back, bro. Not just, you know, computer, nerd, geeky, analytic basketball, bro. Like, that's not going to bring ratings, bro. What's going to bring ratings is rivalries, physicality, and players with aura, bro. Players with athleticism. And if they not athletic, they got to have some aura. Larry Bird, he wasn't athletic, but he had aura because he was a dog. He was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like he was that white friend that got the N-word pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was one of them cool white boys. Like, he had that aura. You know? So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, Nikola Jokic, he don't got that Larry Bird aura, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what a lot of the top players in the league are lacking. You know? But those are my thoughts, man. Shout out to the Thunder, man. They won the finals. Hopefully Halliburton, man, you know, hey, sit next season out. You're going to have to, you know, get that Achilles right. And hopefully you can come back. He's still young, bro. So I think Halliburton is still going to come back and be able to be an impactful player. He's probably not going to be the same. That Achilles, man, it just, like, even Kevin Durant, he's putting up the same numbers, but he's not the same. You know what I'm saying? But Kevin Durant is an example that you can still come back and still be an impactful player. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, those are my final thoughts, man. Y'all be smooth.